Hey, greetings, friends. Jacque Howard here, and welcome to one of my podcasts. Trenton 365 Business Casual is where this focus is because we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, and that is clothing and fashion and art and culture. But before we do that, I want you to make sure that you take a moment to grab yourself a writing utensil, something to write on, because I'd like for you to take some notes. And with those notes, reach back out to me or to my guest, Bernice of AfriPrintz, so that you can follow up and ask questions directly. The short amount of time that I bring these wonderful human beings to you is nowhere near enough time for you to find out what they are doing and why they excite me. And that's what this show is really about. My podcasts are really trying to connect people with other human beings that I believe in and I like what they're doing. And I think that it would be beneficial to all of us so that we can build a better community for everyone. In addition to that, we always have to pay bills. We've got radio stations, television stations, sets and props and all these different things. There's plenty of ways for folks to get involved. And it doesn't necessarily have to, you don't necessarily have to get involved thinking that it's a huge amount of money, et cetera, or commitment. We have lots of different ways to promote not only what we're doing here at Trenton 365 and our affiliate outlets such as WPHY and WIMG 1300, but also the folks who are coming on to the program. Because oftentimes I have a sidebar conversation with them about how I can assist them even further, other than giving them an opportunity to have an interview. And that includes having a pop-up location at our building, Hub 13 West Front Street in historic downtown Trenton, as well as making other connections so that they can meet other people in the industry or folks that they need to have a connection with, such as financiers, accountants, tax professionals, etc. That's what I do. I am the ultimate brand ambassador and the connector. So make sure you follow me, and you can contact me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram via at Trenton 365. Now that all the business work is done and out of the way, I am stoked, and I'm not going to bring her on yet. I'm just going to talk a little bit about how this all happened. So many folks know that I've got this background in fashion, and it goes from retail to management to the design floor and production and all those different things. But I love just the idea of how humans express themselves by what they wear, how different cultures magnify themselves in what they wear, etc. And recently, I was turned on to Bernice of AfriPrintz, and that's one word, no S, the Z is on the end, AfriPrintz with a Z on the end. And I was like, what? When I saw the jewelry that this person had on, I was like, oh, that is beautiful. She said, oh, my friend Bernice makes this. It's like, what? Can you connect me with her? Is she local? She's like, yeah, no problem. And that's how I have come to have this opportunity to have Bernice of AfriPrintz be a guest on the program. Bernice, blessings to you and yours. And thank you so much for the art, the craft, and the work that you're doing. The little bit that I've seen, I was, boom, mind blown away. Welcome to the program, and I'd like for you to introduce yourself and just talk about this wonderful art and cultural items that you make and create, please.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I am so honored and privileged when Sandra texts me, like, hey, Jacque is going to get to you. I hope I get your name well because I have, I'm from Ghana. I said, sure, because I've been following him. So excited that we get to connect. Well, my name is Bernice. I'm originally from Ghana, the motherland. My mom is a Ewe, and my dad is a Fanti. I speak like 4 languages, okay? I'm married with 3 boys. We live right in Trenton, well, right by Nottingham School. So I'll say Trenton because Trenton is my home. I'm there for events. I'm there for whatever. I was in City Hall yesterday, okay? So I see Trenton like my home. So thank you. This is AfriPrintz. We're dealing everything Afrocentric. Name it. I have it. If I don't, I will make sure you get it. So, I mean, from here, if you want me to say how I started the business and all that stuff, let me know and I'll go for it.
Yeah, I do, because I'm going to sit here and be actively listening and taking notes because I want to learn, and I'm excited because I want to see how much more we can do with getting the word out about what you're doing. So yeah, so start like what brought you to want to do art and fashion, and then what brought you to Trenton and New Jersey in general?
Sure. So I grew up, let me start from growing up. I grew up very poor in Ghana. When we say poor, there's no middle. It's like either you have it or you don't. So I grew up with a child with two clothes to go to church, and that's all I have. So if I wear this on this Sunday, you know what I wear next Sunday, okay? So I knew I had so much in me. At the age of 7, I started selling anything. It could be water, oranges. I was helping my mom, my great grandmother. Actually, I go to the village every summer. When the kids are in the city, I go to the village to help my great grandma. But at that young age, I didn't understand why they sent me to the village in the summer to help my great grandmother. So fast forward my teenage years, so I came to realize that each time I go to help my great grandmother, she sold fish, fried fish in the market. And we're not talking about 2 or 3 fish. No, we're talking about baskets of fish. And whenever I go and I'm behind, the line is like from here to the train station. And I didn't understand. I hear people saying in our language, oh, her granddaughter from the city is in. They'll mention my great grandmother's name. Her granddaughter from the city is in. And then they'll say, which one? They'll say, oh, the little white one. In our language, because I'm a little light skin. It's, oh, the little white city girl is in. So everybody wanted kind of to see me. I mean, and they didn't understand this a city girl coming to the village. Now, that fish is going to be done in like an hour, we're out. Meanwhile, you have other people. So then in my teenage years, I realized, oh my goodness, I have this in me. My mom is like, every day you're selling something. I have a sidekick all the time, a side hustle, a side something. Fast forward to the US. I always try to represent my culture everywhere I go. I would dress up in African. It doesn't matter my issue. It could be a head wrap. It could be an earring, my whole outfit. And then I realized I was in another business then, but each time I dress, people are like, oh my God, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So I sat down, I said, God, I know I have to do something. This other business that I'm doing, I'm putting money in somebody else's pocket. Let me know. Okay, I won't mention that business name, but let me know what you want me to do. And then boom, it dropped on my heart. It said, you remember people always tell you, you look beautiful in your outfit, and your brothers and sisters in the diaspora are yearning for it. They're craving for it. What can you do? And I said, oh my gosh. So I got to with my seamstress. I said, listen, are you ready? We'll be in business soon. She said, what? I just sold for you. I said, are you ready? She said, yes. I said, okay. So I started with behind my trunk, put 1 or 2 things behind my trunk. And I'll say, hey, I have this top. I have this dress. Oh, yes, I want that earring. I want this. I said, oh my goodness. So my intention in starting this business is to bring the culture, the authentic culture, to my brothers and sisters in the diaspora. So 6-7 years ago, that's how AfriPrintz came to be. Now, I took over Facebook when the pandemic hit, because I used to do events. When the pandemic hit, everybody was home. I said, Lord, okay, how am I going to do this business? Because I'm always on the road. I can't be on the road now. We're on lockdown. My friend Lisa said, Bernice, why don't you take over Facebook? I said, Facebook? I can't even describe a color. I can't even speak good English. She said, with your personality, you sell everything. And my first ever big order was Miss Amini. Miss Amini said, girl, you have something, and I'm here to support you. That's how I took on Facebook. I came on social media, and my brothers and sisters, I'm like, my first time I was dropping my numbers, I couldn't say. I said, well, whatever you see is what you get. Is blue. If you see it's blue, it is blue, And I went on for an hour, and I saw the numbers keep going up. They said, we want more. I called my husband and said, can you bring me that stuff on the rack? But I had that satisfaction that, oh my goodness, I'm able through the pandemic, right? The pandemic happened.
Mhm.
And what happened? AfriPrintz blew up. And then word of mouth, just like Sandra told you. And here we are today. So my big goal, my big, I would say vision is to bring that culture to my brothers and sisters. It's not about the money. People say, oh my goodness, I got this dress from online. It was $100 and I bring $200 here and I can buy 4 outfits. I said, again, it's not about the money. All right. It's about you feeling good about where we come from. And while I am there selling to you, I'm teaching you. Okay. A lot, I realized that a lot of my brothers here didn't even know the day they were born. Okay. God put on my heart. I started doing these bracelets and I'll put the day that you were born. So for example, you're born on Tuesday. I'm born February 10th. If you Google February 10th, it would tell you I was born on a Thursday. So in Ghana, I'm called Ya. If you hear somebody called Kofi or Kofi, he's born on Friday. That's it. He's a Friday born. So then I did this bracelet and they're like, people were like, oh my goodness. Okay, I Googled, I'm a Tuesday born. I'm a Wednesday. I need it. So God is using AfriPrint, using me, teaching my brothers and sisters here, my grandmothers here, my grandfathers here. A lot of people didn't even know what the Dinkra symbol means. Okay. We have hundreds of the Dinkra symbol. What does it mean? Some people wear the jinyame, they don't even know it's jinyame. Okay. What does it mean? You wear the ankh. What does the ankh mean? So I see myself teaching, doing business at the same time, making friends, and then, again, bringing my people together. I have people go to Ghana and they text me, all right, Bernice, so I'm in Ghana. So where do I go? What's the best restaurant to go to? What's the best this to go to? What do I do when I go? I said, okay, I'll hook you up with friends. Just this past December, a group went, and this lady, their free time was Christmas Day. And she said she wanted to go to church. She was the free day for them to go shop. She wanted to go to church. I said, I'll hook you up. I called my mother church back home. A pastor pick her up at the
Yes.
hotel. I said, yes. She was so excited. They took her to church. Afterwards, they took care of her. I said, oh my God, if God is going to use me in this way, I'm open. Here I am. Okay, so this is AfriPrintz. This is Bernice.
Look, when Sandra told me about you, and she was so excited. First, I want you to know that her face lit up talking about her jewelry and
Yes.
talking about you. She was so proud to tell me what she knew about you and to encourage me to contact you. In fact, she saw me a couple times after and was like, did you talk to her? Did you talk to her? So she was very excited for us to connect. Thank you for sharing all that information. I'm kind of like giddy over here because just hearing you talk and the excitement in your voice, you are absolutely a natural presenter, a natural seller. You do it with such joy, the radiation coming off of your face and the smile, all of that just works wonderfully. Thank you so much for that. I want to put this bug in your ear and we can talk about it later. I'd love to have our location, Hub 13, be a pop-up shop for you to come in. And for you to come in and do some breakout sessions where you're doing some education, where you're talking to people about literally what you just said, the date that they were born, the day they were born. In addition to that, knowing what the symbols that so many people are wearing, trying to identify with the motherland or with other cultures, but actually knowing what they mean. So maybe it'll help them give a better understanding of what that is. So I'd like to follow up with that later. Now, you were saying 7 years old. You were an entrepreneur at 7 years old. I want you to talk a bit about your family, because your elders, your grandparents, your parents, they obviously saw something in you and they knew this is where she is going to go and she's going to spend time with grandma. So can you just talk about like the support that you've gotten from your family and what that all means to the culture?
Sure. So even it's on my story on my website, afriprintz.shop, it would tell the stories right there. Started from my great grandmother to my grandmother. So growing up, we lived in a big house, not big house, but we all lived in one house. If you go to Africa, mostly it's like that. My mom, we live with our grandmother. We cook from the same pot, everything. So my grandmother is an entrepreneur. My grandfather was a manager at GNTC. In Ghana, GNTC is the company that makes Coca-Cola, Fanta, Guardian soap, and all that stuff. So my grandmother was part of the little tiny team or whatever I'll say it. My grandfather is able to bring like a box of soap for her to sell. This is her means of, even though she's a stay-at-home mom, but we live in the same compound. So when I come from school, as soon as I put my bag down, there's a tray with soap for myself and my cousin. We'll put it on our head in a pan and go sell. Now, within 30 minutes, my tray is done. I'm back. Okay. My cousin go for like two hours before she gets back, sell 2 soap. So my grandmother is asking me, what do you do? Again, at that young age, I couldn't really understand the talents that I had. So what I did was, these other retailers, instead of them going to the main markets to go buy, I was their producer.
Yes, 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 you're distributing.
I distribute, exactly. So I distribute. I said, do you know you have to take 2 buses to go to the market and buy it at this rate? Well, I can get you at this rate. And then I started giving it to them on how you call it? You buy it on credit basis. So the money is guaranteed that when I give you Monday, I'm coming back for my money on Wednesday.
Yes.
And so my grandmother is like, at this age, how? How do you, where you getting your money? I can't explain, but you're getting your money anyway. So then my cousin had to retire because she wasn't selling. I was. And I took pride in that. Oh, I took pride in that. I look forward to getting home as tired as I am, taking that pan of soap and Coca-Cola on my head and selling it within 30 minutes. And my grandmother just gives me high five, and it pumps me up because I think I got to know when I came to US that I'm a high ID personality. So things like that's pump me up, when you say, oh my God, good job. Oh my goodness. You recognize me, really? And then my mom started. So as a teenager, my mom had a restaurant for 22 years. I'm the oldest of 4. Now, as the oldest, I went through every hustle that my grandparents and my mom had to go through. Every hustle, when my mom is up at 4 a.m., I'm up at 4 a.m. Making sure. Now, when I say restaurant, don't think about Albies or don't think about, no. This is a local restaurant. You get up and sweep around it. You set up, okay? You get up and start cooking by 3 a.m. because we have students going to school that will buy food by 6:30 for their lunch, okay? So I wake up that early. And then my mom, with her business, she will buy a bag of rice here. She will buy a box of tomatoes here. She will buy this. And I told her, listen, I want to start going to the market. She said, why? I said, because I don't think this is right. Why are you buying for so many? They should be able to drop stuff off for you. She said, no, it doesn't work like that. Well, I took charge. I went to the market. Now we're talking about like 12 years, 13 years old. Closing deals, okay?
There you go. So
my mom, I've been buying beans from you for like a year now. How about you, instead of giving her in portions, how about give her a whole sack? And when she's done selling, pay you back. Your money is guaranteed. Okay? So that is how I close deals. But again, very humble and poor background. I remember the day that I had another new school uniform, because this is and we'll get to that, what has led me to be doing certain things in life. I only had a new school uniform because I was going to meet the president. Okay. And my school uniform, I was of the color. Number one, the color wasn't even right. But then people see me and put me in this category thinking I'm from a rich family, because whatever I put on, I make sure is washed, is ironed, is wear well. I wash my sock, my white sock is the only one I had every day. So my grandfather said, you're going to meet the president. That is why I had he said, I will do whatever I can in your power. May his soul rest in peace. Got me a new uniform, new shoes, and the pride. And I was supposed to sing in the choir, which I don't sing. Which I don't sing. But that gift that God has given me, that when I walk into a room or I walk into the presence of people, my presence alone made sure that, let me explain this well. When I walk in with this confidence as the child of God, and here as a daughter of the motherland, that I walk in with pride, with my head held high. It doesn't matter what I had on. So with that background, I told my mom every time, I said, when I grow up, I will have lots of clothes in my closet. He said, you can do whatever you want. But right now, I don't have it. I say, I know you don't have it, and I don't pressure you. And again, being the oldest, I wanted my siblings to have it better than I did. So I had to work. You know, I had to even give up. I came here and went to college. I had to give up my college to be able to help my parents put my siblings in school and college so they don't become my burden as the oldest.
You know, oldest. Yeah, Bernice, I want to make sure that we get a little bit more out about the culture, because I think that that's also really a good way to connect with folks. Right. And you've touched on so much of it. I mean, just the idea of living in community, respect to the seasoned or the elders in the family, working at a young age, learning responsibility. And then as you just finished up, talking about the responsibility of being the older sibling and what that means for the younger siblings. Briefly, can you touch on what that was like coming to the States and seeing the difference in the cultures? And I'm sure you probably saw all different types of things in the culture, some similar and some not so much.
Oh, yes. It was a culture shock to me when I came here. A lot. Back home, you cannot pass by an elder without saying good morning. Okay? You can't. You can't pass by without saying good morning. Now, we don't pronounce an elder name. Let's say Michael. You can't say just Michael. That's a no-no. That's disrespectful. As far as the person is older than you, you either add Mr. or brother or uncle, Uncle Jack, Uncle Mike. Now, we got gazillions uncle. Even my kids here, my kids here will be like, is he an uncle, or like family uncle? I said, that's uncle. So my kids said, we got like 1,000 uncles. I said, yeah. So they know now. You cannot take something from an elderly with your left hand. That's a taboo.
Oh.
You can't go like this in a classroom with your left hand. That's a no-no. Oh, that's a big no. It's a left hand. It's seen as, well, let me back up. The right hand is seen as the dominant and the strong hand. The left hand is seen as the weak and what we use for in our bathrooms and stuff. So you cannot take something. Now, when I came here, and I hear even my bosses, when I was in corporate, my bosses, I just can't call them John, Paul. I can't, because that's how I was raised up. And I had to tell them, if I call you Mr. by your last name, don't say, oh no, don't tell me to call you by Paul, because I can't. That's how I grew up. All right. So I saw certain things here. Another example, waist beads. Waist bead for us growing up, is put on us by a parent or grandparents if they're alive from baby. It means a lot. Your being a feminine, a female, okay. Growing up, giving you that hourglass and stuff. Now, I have 3 waist beads on. Only my husband see it. It was a culture shock to me to see waist beads on the waist of my young sisters and some of the mothers showing. It's a no-no. So that was a culture shock to me. I said, oh my goodness, why are they showing their waist beads? You can't do that. That's supposed to be for your husband. So back to me growing up as the oldest, you learn you are in the kitchen with your grandmother, with your mother. You can't be anywhere else. That's how we learn how to cook. From your parents. We didn't have any extra, well, there was no money to do extra like soccer. My boys are travel soccer here, but we didn't have that. So all you had is go to school, study, be as hard as you can, come home and help. Whatever your parents are. My mother, I don't remember, and it's not her fault, ever help me with homework. No, she's waiting on me to go to the market. It is what it is. She's waiting on me to do house chores. She's waiting on me to help her cook for my other siblings. Fast forward to here. Children here, some children here, not like that. That was a culture shock to me. That parents, even not teaching the children, some, not all of them, not how to cook. I go to people's homes and their teenagers are on their phone, girls, boys. My boys know how to, oh, yes. They are brought up here like you are in African home. But my friends, oh no, what's your last name? Because your last name, back home, your last name, when you walk out that door, you represent your whole ancestors. So don't go fool around. You represent your whole 20 years generation by that last name. So when you walk out the door, remember who you are. So this is what I think that we have to go back. I know that our grandparents and elders here used to do it. If mothers can please have their children, not just around the kitchen table, talking about their day, but learning from them what it means to be even a woman. Growing up, you're 13 years old. These are the changes. Don't let them learn it from school, because not everything that they can learn from school. If you don't teach them at home, they're going to learn the wrong thing in school. 12-year-old, 9-year-old growing up. These days, 9-year-old, they are full-blown women now.
Yep.
So we are taught before you even have your first period, this is what you're going to expect. My grandmother will sit you down. My mom will sit. It's like a whole class. You're going to have this. You're going to do this. Now, when you do this with boys, I was told when I sit beside a boy growing up, I was going to get pregnant. So I don't sit beside boys. And that is what they instill in us so that you don't go fool around and have any teenage pregnancies. You know, so it's a lot that, again, I'm bringing little by little, as best as I can, to teach as many as I can here. Even the food I put on my page, I'm taking a class in Mercer now. I want to start African food. And it's AfriPrintz Kitchen. And then, again, it's not about owning a big place. Well, if God want me to have a restaurant one day, good. But with what I learned from my parents and even my customers who come here and shop, I make sure that I have something little Ghana for them to try on. So in the future, that's just by the way, in the future, I'll look out for AfriPrintz Kitchen, and it's going to be fabulous.
Well, listen, I'm known for taking notes. That's my thing. So I want you to know that I got them notes on here. So Mercer County Community College, AfriPrintz Kitchen. I'm looking forward to that. And I'd like to be one of the folks who gets a chance to come in and try some of the food ASAP. I am a bit of a foodie. I've got a belly. I can take pretty much most things, but yes, I'm definitely going to put on that list.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm also going to put on the list for us to regroup and have a pop-up show at Hub 13.
Okay.
That is something that I'm going to get started with my partners today when I get back over to the office. So we're going to get AfriPrintz pop-up shop happening at Hub 13. And we've got just a couple of minutes left.
Okay.
Bernice, I'd like for you to encourage some people who may be standoffish, or it may be too much for them, or they can't comprehend exactly the difference of culture. They may not even know what the diaspora is, or, etc. So can you just touch on that a little bit, just a minute or two, and then we're going to have to close out, okay?
Okay. So to my brothers and sisters, my grandparents, my grandfathers, but thank you for this opportunity. Please, we all have our roots, okay? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I will say that I'm thankful for technology now, that you are able to see how back home is. Just Google it. Google a country. It will come up. Don't go by what you're being told. If you can travel, please travel. Travel is good. It's good for you to understand what Africa continent is. It's not what you see on TV. Trust me. It is not. Go home and you feel that peace. You feel your soul is at peace. Try new things. Don't be scared. Try new food if you see it. Try new clothing. Again, this might be too much for you. I have some people say, oh my God, this is so too much color for me. Well, we are Africans, we're loud. We're Africans, we want to be noticed. Don't blend in. I tell people all the time, do not blend in. If you got too many black and brown stuff in your closet, well, don't come to AfriPrintz. Well, when you come out, change your mind. Okay? So take time, take time to learn about the continent, thanks to Google. Even go to Facebook and type in Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, Namibia, Zimbabwe. We got beautiful, a lot out there. Check out our dance move, every step means something. Mm-hmm. We are communicating to you. Look at our hairstyles, every wrap, every hair design is telling you something. Our ancestors did it. All them braids was telling you it's a map on their hair. It's telling you make a right, make a left turn, make a U-turn. So them those cornrows were turnpike, make a left on 295 and make left on 195 or something. So understand, learn what you put on your head, what it means. Those braids mean something. Okay? When you wear the clothes, ask questions. Those earrings, they all mean something. So embrace the culture, be open and embrace it. And I'm here. My name is Bernice, again, owner of AfriPrintz. I'm here. If you have any questions, if I don't know, I will find out for you. And I will surely get back to you. Okay. I don't know if I should put my ads in there now, but
you can put it in there. Go ahead. Yeah.
So follow me on Facebook. It's AfriPrintz. I've done a lot of pop-ups during this Black History Month. And most of them are recorded and I just drop it, okay? But I do live shows every Sunday. I'm on Instagram at AfriPrintz Goods. I'm on TikTok. Yes, we got to be right there. I'm on TikTok, AfriPrintz LLC. And on this Friday, actually tomorrow, I just got accepted yesterday. I'll be in City Hall.
Oh, okay, great. City Hall in Trenton.
Trenton City Hall. Trenton City Hall tomorrow at 4 o'clock. It's Black History Month. Now, if you don't wear any African item, garment or anything during the year, the month of February, wear something. It could be a shirt, top, whatever it is, jewelry. Please represent the culture because we are the culture. If we don't represent it, who will? How would people know? We have to. So if you need anything, please buzz me up, 215-960-4801.
Yeah, look, Bernice, we are going to get along just fine. Thank you so much.
We can
love it. All right, Bernice Flynn, of AfriPrintz, culture, fashion, food, and so much more coming. Stay tuned for more. Bernice, thank you so much for your time. I'll be in touch, okay? But don't go anywhere, all right?
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome. And there we have it, folks. Just another opportunity for you to meet someone you may have not met before. Learn a little bit more that you may have not known before. Be able to get some understanding about some cultural references that you may not have known before. Or maybe this is an opportunity for you to come out and be a bit more bold about who you are in your culture, or to support someone who is of the African continent in the work that they're doing. I'm Jacque Howard. Remember, it's always about justice, peace, and humility.